Welcome back to the Paul Chandler Show. I'm your host, Paul Chandler. In tonight's episode, the awesomely awesome Captain Awesome is back, and tonight he'll be showing us the educational part on ulcerative colitis. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back. Hi everyone, Captain Awesome here again, and today we're going to talk about ulcerative colitis. Now that is an inflammatory bowel disease that causes long-lasting inflammation and ulcers, also known as sores, in your digestive tract. Ulcerative colitis affects the innermost lining of your large intestine, which is also known as your colon, and your rectum. Symptoms usually develop over time rather than suddenly. Ulcerative colitis can be debilitating and can sometimes lead to life-threatening complications. While it has no known cure, treatment can greatly reduce signs and symptoms of the disease and even bring about long-term remission. Ulcerative colitis symptoms can vary depending on the severity of inflammation and when it occurs. Signs and symptoms may include diarrhea, often with blood or pus, abdominal pain and cramping, rectal pain, rectal bleeding, which is passing a small amount of blood in your stool, urgency to defecate, inability to defecate despite urgency, weight loss, fatigue, fever, and in children, failure to grow. Most people with ulcerative colitis have mild to moderate symptoms. The course of ulcerative colitis may vary, with some people having long periods of remission. There are several types of ulcerative colitis, which doctors often classify according to its location. Types of ulcerative colitis include ulcerative proctitis, which is inflammation confined to the area closest to the anus, known as the rectum, and rectal bleeding may only be the sign of the disease. This form of ulcerative colitis tends to be the mildest. Proctosigmoiditis, which is inflammation that involves the rectum and the sigmoid colon, which is the lower end of the colon. Signs and symptoms include bloody diarrhea, abdominal cramps and pain, and an inability to move the bowels in spite of the urge to do so. Left-sided colitis, which is inflammation extends from the rectum up through the sigmoid and descending colon. Signs and symptoms include bloody diarrhea, abdominal cramping, and pain on the left side, and unintended weight loss. Pancolitis, which often affects the entire colon and causes bouts of bloody diarrhea that may be severe, abdominal cramps and pain, fatigue, and significant weight loss. And acute severe ulcerative colitis. This rare form of colitis affects the entire colon and causes severe pain, profuse diarrhea, bleeding, fever, and the inability to eat. You should see your doctor if you experience a persistent change in bowel habits or if you have signs and symptoms such as abdominal pain, blood in your stool, ongoing diarrhea that doesn't respond to over-the-counter medications, diarrhea that awakens you from sleep, an unexplained fever lasting more than a day or two. Although ulcerative colitis usually isn't fatal, it is serious disease that in some cases may cause life-threatening complications. Now, the exact cause of ulcerative colitis remains unknown. Previously, diet and stress were suspected, but now doctors know that these factors may aggravate but do not cause ulcerative colitis. One possible cause is an immune system malfunction. When your immune system tries to fight off invading virus or bacterium, an abnormal immune response causes the immune system to attack the cells in the digestive tract. Hereditary also seems to play a role in that ulcerative colitis is more common in people who have family members with the disease. However, most people with ulcerative colitis do not have a family history. There are several risk factors to having ulcerative colitis that affect the same number of men and women. Risk factors may include age, race or ethnicity, and family history. Ulcerative colitis usually begins before the age of 30, but it can occur at any age, and some people may not develop the disease until after age 60. Although whites have the highest risk of disease, it can occur in any race. If you are of Jewish descent, your risk is even higher. You're at higher risk if you have a close relative, such as a parent, sibling, or child with the disease. Possible complications of ulcerative colitis include severe bleeding, a hole in the colon known as a perforated colon, severe dehydration, while rare, being liver disease, bone loss, which is known as osteoporosis, inflammation of your skin, joints, and eyes, an increased risk of colon cancer, a rapidly swelling colon known as toxic megacolon, and increased risk of blood clots in veins and arteries. And that concludes our education today on ulcerative colitis. But before I head off, back to you, Paul, in the Paul Chandler Show studio. Bye-bye now.
Thanks, Captain Awesome. Hope you enjoyed that education on ulcerative colitis. And remember to visit our website, thepaulchandlershow.com, and on the top, you can submit a form and let us know what topics you'd like to have as far as fun learning education. So thank you for watching this episode of The Paul Chandler Show, and have an awesome rest of your night.
If you like this video and want to see more, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's so easy. It's right there. A little button. Just push it. Subscribe. I got all night. Nothing else to do. Just subscribe.